This is just a great place.
Isn't it though?
We have Lincoln Park in Heston.
Oh yeah.
And Mountain Ridge has the hub. And
Mm-hmm.
I just love these.
Yep. Yep. It's definitely something you build community around.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Welcome back to another edition of Coffee with the Mayor, where we keep you updated while we stay caffeinated. Welcome everybody, and I'd like to welcome our guest, Mike King, our state representative. Mike's from Heston, and we're certainly glad that you could join us today, Mike. Very much appreciated. Some of you may notice that we got an empty chair next to me, where usually my faithful sidekick, Matt Stiles, our city administrator, is sitting, but he got called away today and is unavailable. But Coffee with the Mayor must go on, so we're going to go right ahead and jump right in.
Thank you for having the opportunity to spend time here with Coffee with the Mayor.
Yeah.
And I'm Mike King, State Representative, House District 74, which has been redistricting in 2020, caused the lines to shift just a little bit. But Hillsboro was always in it. Hillsboro is still in it. Marion, the city, is not in it anymore. Right. It's not in House District 74. So I'm a fourth generation Hestonite. My grandfather changed from farming to construction in the early 1900s and started what is today the current King Construction Company, the bridge building firm based in Heston. So we had an opportunity as kids to build bridges and travel the state, understand what it was like working with the state of Kansas and KDOT. Got my 4-year degree in construction management. I know some of you Tabor College people may not want to hear where I went to college at, but I went to John Brown University in Northwest Arkansas. Spent 10 years traveling the southern United States with a large national firm. Building sewer treatment plants, water treatment plants.
Wow.
Had the opportunity to help estimate and plan out a lock and dam on the Mississippi River.
Nice.
And was in Miami, Florida, Orlando, Florida. Actually worked on a wastewater treatment plant for Walt Disney World.
Wow. Okay.
Got to see the behind scenes of,
there you go.
How things really work there. So
the down and dirty of Disneyland, huh?
My father had wanted to sell our farm, and that got us back here. My wife, and at that point we had one small child. We're living in Orlando. We moved back. I started a new business, not part of the bridge building family or the company, that based that in McPherson, called King Enterprise Group.
Okay.
So worked in the area and always been in construction, and had an opportunity to be a part of state government about a decade ago, and was confirmed as Kansas Secretary of Transportation. Did that for 4.5 years. Retired from general contracting, and here I am today as state representative.
There you go. You came back in via the elected route this time,
that's right?
Yeah.
Pointed route's not a bad way to go. I'll say.
Yeah. Well, you had that background you mentioned early on that you guys were, with your bridge building, you're very obviously very connected to KDOT,
right? And
the things going on at the state level. So.
Yeah, the governor wanted. There's I think 11 cabinet positions, and the governor wanted to bring in a couple of business people, a couple of large business. So he brought in an executive from Cargill, and then brought me in, kind of representing the small business aspect. And then also some former legislators and other people that have been cabinet agency heads before. So it was a good mix, a good balance, and a good voice.
Very good, very good. Well, again, Mike, we're glad you're here, and we're going to move into the very first segment. We have several segments of Coffee with the Mayor, and the first one that we do every time is something we call the Mayor's Mugshots, and that gives our guests and myself and Matt, when he's here, a chance to tell everybody what's in our mugs and plug our hosts here at Rhubarb Market, which we're just so thankful that they give us this opportunity to do this here. But as always, I get to go first, and I think everybody knows what's in my mug by now: coffee flavored coffee. Now, Matt, on the other hand, he changes it up on a regular basis, but coffee flavored coffee for me.
Yeah.
Mike, what's in your mug?
So in my mug, I have shot in the dark.
Okay.
I like change,
Okay.
and I like risk taking.
Uh-huh.
So I had no idea what was going to be in it, and so had them serve it up. And it's normally 2 shots of espresso in here. I asked to go to just 1
Okay,
because it's
good.
the middle of the afternoon. But
There you go.
yeah, I love it. It has a great flavor, and I'll be back and get this again.
Nice. So if we see you kind of cranked up at the end of this, we'll know that shot in the dark took effect. All right. You talked a little bit about your background, but how does your background in construction and in transportation and actually being part of an administration, how does that influence your approach to public service?
So for me, I think it starts with all construction projects, whether they be bridges or buildings, structure of any kind, starts with a firm foundation. So I have a firm foundation with my faith, with my relationship with Jesus Christ, my Savior.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my foundation starts with, and it starts then with my family, my wife of 40 years now.
Wow, congratulations.
So, and we have 4 adult children,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 grandkids, and I think I understand 2 more on the way, maybe.
Nice.
Like a construction project is a lot like the legislative process. You have an idea, you have a set of plans, but there are several different ways that you can get to the end. And to me, the end result is only works when it's successful for everybody involved. So when you have a building project, you have a lot of subcontractors. You have clients, you have architects, you have engineers. And a successful project is only successful when everybody feels like their voice was heard and they were listened to and they were a part of the process. And that coming together and that working together is how I tie legislative process into my background and what I'm used to.
Sure, it makes sense, but of course, as we all know, and with my experience in local government, it doesn't always happen maybe as quickly as
Right.
you would like it, or as quickly as it happens in the private sector.
Mhm.
And I'm not necessarily sure that's always a bad thing either. So we can't just run off willy-nilly, and like you said, having a plan is critical. But the other part of that is, even though you may not get there in the way you thought initially, progress still has to keep happening.
Yes, and that's where my time as Secretary of Transportation was so valuable. You're not going to change overnight, and to your point, you shouldn't. One of my goals and one of my mentors when I started the legislative process is he said, write down 3 things that you want to accomplish as a freshman. And then at the end of session, take a look at those three items, put them in your desk drawer, and I did. And the last day of session, I pulled them out of my desk drawer and I looked at them and I accomplished all 3 of those.
Well, great.
So again, small incremental gains,
Mhm.
moving forward, not thinking that you know it all, or not thinking
Right.
that even my experience here in central Kansas may or may not be what's best for the entire state of Kansas.
That's true. That's certainly true. So, what are some of the initiatives that you're passionate about that support? You mentioned we're from Central Kansas.
Right.
We're from a small rural area generally.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the things that are going on that you're again passionate about that support rural small business and job creation? Because without jobs, without growth, without we talked about before we got started here,
Yeah.
the fact that it makes it harder when you're trying to spread the cost of goods and services across a shrinking number of people, right?
So the regulations are onerous, in my opinion, on starting something that kind of want to start in your garage, or you have this idea. So in Commerce Committee, we tried to bring some of those regulations under control a little bit more. As legislators, we're trying to eliminate that barrier. Then the other committee I'm on is social services budget. And that's where about 7 billion of the state total budget of 24 billion flows through. That's an initiative of how we take care of those that need a little extra help and support. But what we're doing there is being able to care for people in their homes and get their quality of life. And then also daycare, be able to provide a daycare system that's where a parent, a guardian, a caretaker can have a little break at times so they can be a business owner or contribute to the business community.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned daycare, and that's certainly something that's near and dear to us. And we are right there, just about ready to cross the finish line. But we've had a couple small setbacks, but we hope that we're moving past those, and soon to open our H4C daycare center here in Hillsboro.
Good. When you do, please invite me.
Well, you're on the list when we're gonna cut that ribbon.
Yeah.
So yeah, and again, back to regulation. One of the things that I learned, my parents were entrepreneurs and started their business, and unfortunately, it didn't survive. It ultimately failed. But what I learned from that is, in this country, we have the freedom to succeed. But if you want the freedom to succeed, there has to be the freedom to fail as well. And like you said, not all things work out as they should, but we have that freedom to try.
Yes.
And to put our efforts and try to make a difference.
Yeah, I think about people like Einstein and Ford and some of our titans in our business a century ago, and I think about our technology companies. Most technology companies fail, but that idea has helped spur somebody else to be a little bit more successful down the line. So to me, it's not a failure. To me, I love it when people give the opportunity. Now, financially, I want everyone to understand, what the risk that they're encumbering, and their banking relationship, and that, please don't pull all your money out of your 401k to start a good idea. But go into things with eyes wide open. And I think we as a state, I almost wish that we would have a kind of a department of entrepreneurship. I know there's cities and school districts that are doing that, and I think at a state level we should have an incubator system that's devoted for that.
Well, that's certainly part of our vision and collaboration here in Hillsboro with Tabor College, and we're partners with Tabor in their Central Kansas Entrepreneurship Center, so the CCAT. So we are firm believers in that. That's what's grown Hillsboro in the past, and been our firm foundation is to go back to that idea of a foundation. So in your time in state government, you've been part of the Kansas Ireland Trade Commission, as I understand it.
Yeah, so that was a really interesting piece, something that got me totally unexpected. But in Commerce Committee, the Senate President from the Ireland Parliament, I'm maybe not saying that right, the Parliament, but came and spoke. And his role is to go across as many states as possible in the United States and be talking about trade with Ireland. And I thought, okay, Ireland, I get it, great country. I mean, I would love to visit it sometime. But with Britain and the UK dropping out of the European Union, that all of a sudden elevated Ireland. Ireland is the number 2 European Union trade partner with the United States.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And so stable government, friendly to us. Actually, CRH Industries owns what we used to call here APAC Shears, or the old Shears Road Construction. That's one of their many companies. So there is a connection with Ireland here.
Nice. Okay.
But as I look at our district, our House District 74, we have at least 5 international companies. with Barkman
Mhm.
Honey being one of them.
Sure.
So I think it's incumbent upon us as legislators to think, how do we open doors and open relations with other countries? So people like Barkman Honey, AGCO, Stanley Black and Decker,
Mhm.
Bow Ridge can really be great trade
Mhm.
partners. So he came. There's about 30 legislators now going over to Ireland this summer. And then there happens to be a K-State, Iowa State football game, it's going to
Right.
be in Ireland.
That's
And they're going to be
coming
able to
up there.
enjoy that. But I'm excited about how do we take a country like that and how do we as a state be really proactive and not just rely on our Commerce Department
Mhm.
or our governor to do that, but legislators to go and get boots on the ground. So you're going to hear a lot more about Ireland
All right.
in the coming years.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Something else on the list here is this No Impact Home-Based Business Fairness Act. And tell us a little bit about how this is going to strike a balance between encouraging small business and maintaining local control. Because, you and I have had a number of conversations about local control. And, I'm one of these people that feels governance is best as close to the people as you can get it. However, that being said, tell us a little bit about this no impact home-based business.
So this came through Commerce Committee, and I struggled with this one a little bit, maybe more than a little bit. The intent of it is there are communities, cities, counties, other regulatory agencies that make it hard for a business to start.
Mm-hmm.
I struggled with balancing that with, I don't want a fireworks distributor to work out of his or her garage right next to my home.
Right.
So how do you encourage innovative ideas, thought processes? One of my nephews restores old computers.
Mm-hmm.
He buys them online, cleans them, fixes them up, and then resells them out of his garage. There was an ordinance that did not allow him to be able to do that. To me, that is a business that's not going to disrupt the neighborhood. You're not going to have guests coming. You're not going to take up parking spaces. Those are the type of businesses that we wanted to be able to work out of the home. We started running into a lot of issues with HOAs. And then I thought about, cities like Hillsboro, okay, we allow something. And then what we don't want to do is say, okay, this is a great idea. And then the city of Hillsboro has to go be the bad person to that local place that's probably not the best for the community as a whole. So I really struggled with that. In the end, I did vote yes for it. I thought there was more good than bad, and that's what I'm learning as a legislator. You vote for where there's more good than bad.
And again, from the local perspective, it's as we just talked about, Hillsboro is very much pro entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
And so if a business an idea doesn't fit in a particular spot, we feel like it's our job to help that person find the right spot and encourage them through education, through helping find funding, and working, for example, new construction. We've taken off all the barriers pretty much for new construction by waiving business or building permitting and other inspection fees and things like that, because we want to encourage, economic growth and economic development. So when we talk about local control, it's not so much how can we control it, but how can we encourage it and do it in a way that fits the community, fits the geography, the makeup of the community, if you will. And so that's again the challenge, and it's a balancing act. I get it, Mike.
So the biggest part of the bill, and the reason why I supported it is it does leave local control. So you can control, but what it does do is it allows an extra step if the individual feels like they're being treated unjustly. So there's an appeals process, if you want to say.
Sure.
But I don't think that's going to be used very often, but it is in there as a safeguard, I guess.
Sure. The month of August coming up is specifically August 22nd is a special day, and that's Antique Tractor Preservation Day for those that weren't aware. And I'm one of those people that weren't aware of that. What motivates you to champion that kind of rural culture? And how does it impact, our community's identity and the economy again?
I think the right word you used is culture. Every community has its own culture. Every community should have its own culture. And I just firmly believe that what you want to invest your time and your resources and what you want to rally around is important. Let's celebrate that. Let's celebrate that at the state level. So we voted on a couple hundred of bills this year, and some of them, many of them, not many of them, but license plates, and things like antique tractors. Something that is local specific, I'm going to support that statewide. We have a lot of counties that are losing population. We have cities that are losing population. How do we rally around and become little mini tourism destination places? So I think about, the Thresher Days in Gospel. That brings in a large crowd, brings in some sales tax dollars that they wouldn't have had that day.
Sure.
And allows people to celebrate a heritage. Tourism and attraction is a bigger part of the Kansas economy than most people think. And as we become more and more a mobile society, people don't find it that hard to drive a couple of hours to something of really interest.
Sure.
The Hillsboro Fair.
Oh yeah.
Third
Saturday in September. Third Saturday in September.
Those are really important.
Right.
days.
No doubt. It's a huge day for Hillsboro. Yes. You're right. And we do want to celebrate that, and not just celebrate what's important in Hillsboro, but celebrate Kansas, So supporting that statewide, I certainly want to encourage you to keep doing that. That makes a lot of good sense to me. So finally, in our last question here is, what advice do you have for young Kansans that are interested in civic engagement? I mean, you didn't just come upon, snap your finger one day and just said, "Oh, I think I'd like to be involved in state government." We've got to get people engaged.
Right.
This is one thing that we do here in Hillsboro, Coffee with the Mayor, and it may not seem like a big thing, but it's one way in our toolkit, if you will, to try to help promote engagement. What would you tell somebody that was interested in getting involved?
Well, for me, it is find your niche and helping steward our nation or our state or our cities. And that's local government, that's state government, and that's federal government. And I, at a very early age, realized that state government was my sweet spot, was my place to be. So I would go to Topeka and I would just roam around the Capitol. And I would just, as my jobs have allowed me to travel statewide, is to visit with people. What works? What works in Cimarron, Kansas? What works in Concordia, Kansas? What works in Galena, Kansas? And start to understand, wow, there are a lot of needs and there's a few similarities. I invite people to come up and shadow me for the day, to sit in on every committee meeting, to follow me around on the House floor, and to see what it's like and to see if this is the fit for you. I brought a young lady up and she shadowed me, and she's an attorney and had no idea the attorney jobs available through the state of Kansas. The clerk of the House is an attorney, an amazing lady. So I'm going to spend a lot more time in the middle school and the high school levels, inviting them to come up, participate in small groups, individually, larger groups, to see what it is. And hopefully they'll find, okay, is it the federal? Is it the state? Is it local? But and politics isn't a dirty word. It's just us coming together, hearing lots of great ideas and trying to come up with a plan that fits the majority. You're never going to have perfect legislation. Where can we move the ball forward? How can we be 3rd and 1
Right.
and run the ball?
Sure.
I'm also doing 2 things differently. We're allowed 2 different times each year to bring groups to the House floor and recognize them. I have nothing against athletics. I love athletics. But I'm bringing non-athletics to the House. So last year, I helped celebrate the Heston robotics team. That was a state champion, I think, that for the 11th time of the last 13 years.
Nice.
This coming January, February, we're inviting summer reading programs at the local library.
Oh, great.
Those who have accomplished a goal there, to bring them to the House floor and help celebrate them. That'll be a new way for a different group of people to understand what state government looks like and feels like. I'm really excited about that.
Well, that's cool. I don't know
Things like that.
if you had a chance to see our last episode, but we had
No.
2 of our librarians here.
Okay.
And we talked about our summer reading program and some of the things that they were doing as a part of that. So that's a very strong program here in Hillsboro, and we've got a very solid and well-run library. So
Good.
that's that again part of that community identity. So now we've come to a part which Callie always comes up with something unique each time. So we're going to take about 10 minutes to play a little trivia game that Callie's come up with. So if you'll bear with us, we're going to stop now, and then Callie's going to set the game up. So Mike, we're going to do like a lot of games. We're going to roll to see who goes first.
Number 4.
Got a 4 right there. Okay. 6. I guess that means Mayor Lou gets to go first. So my category I'm going to select is history. Number 4. Question number 4.
What landmark 1954 Supreme Court case originated in Topeka, Kansas?
Brown versus Board of Education.
That's perfect.
Good job, Mayor.
All right. Your turn, sir.
Okay, I'm going to pick people,
Okay.
and my number is 3. Question number 3.
What famous former editor of the Emporia Gazette is now the namesake for a renowned Kansas Children's Book Award?
White was his last name, not Capper White, and not Edward. Mr. White. Edward?
No.
William Allen.
William Allen White. That's it. You're going to give me credit for that.
Oh, absolutely. You got it.
Okay,
man. You
all
got
right.
it. All right. So I am going to try pop culture this time. And I got number 3.
Known for her popular children's series, Little House on the Prairie, this American author wrote about her family's experiences on the Kansas frontier.
Laura Ingalls Wilder.
You're getting easy questions,
Yeah.
Mayor.
Go for it, buddy.
I'm going to go sports.
All right.
Sports and question 4.
James Naismith is a legendary coach credited with inventing what world-renowned sport at the University of Kansas in 1898.
Let's see. My choices are basketball, or basketball.
Yeah.
So we'll go with basketball.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Whoa. That was a number 2. And I am going to go with general.
How many counties does Kansas have?
110.
105.
Okay, I was close, but not close enough.
Okay.
All right,
That was
so-
general. What question number 2?
Number 2.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go science. This could be
All
an
right, this will
interesting
be
one.
interesting.
I'm not. Science 1.
Kansas is the largest national producer of this grain.
Let's go with wheat.
Now,
All right.
who's complaining about easy questions? I'm telling you right now.
Love it.
All right,
Love this game.
we're gonna go with
Just so you know, I'm 3 for 3.
there. Yeah, well, I'm. Let's see, 2 for 3.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just number 4. Then I'm gonna have to go with people.
This American abolitionist fought in Bleeding, Kansas, and was captured, tried, and executed by the Commonwealth of Virginia for inciting a slave rebellion at Harper's Ferry in 1859.
John Brown.
Yeah, good job. Let's go history. Question 3, please.
What major cattle trail passed through Kansas in the late 1800s?
There's two. There's the Santa Fe and there's the Chisholm. I'm gonna go with the Santa Fe.
Correct.
You were right.
It was the
Right.
Chisholm. Oh man.
Now the key word there was cattle.
Cattle, right?
Yeah, the
okay.
Santa Fe Trail was more of a trade and migration trail.
Okay.
Anyway. Okay. Number 2. Have we done 2 in sports?
No.
Okay.
Wichita Wind Surge is the minor league team for what Major League Baseball team?
I want to say Royals. I'm going to go with Royals, and I know it's wrong.
Not wrong. I would go with the Minnesota Twins.
So there you go.
And I'll roll. And 6. Let's go general.
Written by Truman Capote, this American novel details the 1959 Clutter family murders that took place in Holcomb, Kansas.
They drove through Newton, Kansas on the way out to Holcomb, the killers, a month after I was born in Newton. The name of the book for 100 is In Cold Blood.
Correct. And it was Dick and Perry.
They were the last people
executed
by the state of Kansas.
That's right.
And they were hung.
Yep. 1. I'm going to go 1 in history.
What date did Kansas join the Union as the 34th state?
This is going to be pretty pathetic, but I am going to go with 1856.
What day? You have the month of the
It was January.
I'm not going to tell you.
I know you're not. I'm not. I'm trying to think. It's January 18th.
Correct.
I would go with the 29th.
All right.
Kansas.
Yeah.
January 29th, 1861.
61. Again. Wow. All right.
Let's see. 3. God, I'm trying to stay away from pulp culture. But let's go 3 for science.
What was the name of the period in which a man-made ecological disaster brought extreme drought to the Great Plains from 1930 to 1936?
The Dust Bowl.
Let's do general.
What is the Kansas state reptile?
Reptile. I am going to say snapping turtle.
It's the box turtle.
Good enough. He gets it. I'm going to have to go with pulp culture, and this is not going to end well. Question number 1.
Known for singles like Carry On My Wayward Son and Dust in the Wind, what 1970s rock band started in Topeka, Kansas?
They started in, and Carrie Livgren was one of the
yeah.
one of the founding people, and actually went to church with him at Topeka Bible
Okay.
Church. Then, I would say the band Kansas.
Well done. I saw them in concert when I was in high school 4 times. So yeah, they were very popular.
Yeah.
Number 4,
You can have either category.
pop culture.
In what Kansas town can you find the world's largest ball of twine?
God. If you just said hand dug well, I would have had that one without a problem. Man, I'm gonna pass. I should know, but I don't know.
For the Steel Cocker City.
Cocker City. Wow.
This goes to show maybe I've traveled too much.
You
around
probably
this
have.
day. So 1, I have to be in people then.
Who was the 34th President of the United States, raised in Abilene, Kansas?
Dwight David Eisenhower.
Well played.
Which famous suffragette spoke in Leavenworth, Kansas in 1865?
Carrie Nation.
Incorrect. Susan B. Anthony.
Oh, I wouldn't have got that one. I was going to go with your. Okay, science for 5, please.
Sylvosaurus condreyi, or the woodland lizard, is credited as the Kansas state official what?
Amphibian.
Land fossil.
Ooh. Okay, let's go with history. 6.
This historical act, passed in 1854, reopened the debate over the expansion of slavery in the U.S., organized Kansas and Nebraska as new territories, and affirmed the concept of popular sovereignty.
Kansas, Nebraska.
It's Nebraska. Correct.
Yep, good job.
Okay.
Okay. General 1, question 1.
Ad astra per aspera is the Kansas state motto and Latin for what phrase?
To the stars to the stars through difficulty.
Very, very well done. Let's do history.
Which Kansas fort was a key outpost during westward expansion and the Indian Wars?
You know, I'm going to say probably the one that's still going the strongest would be Fort Riley.
Correct. Fort Larned.
Well, I mean, there's
Historical
Fort Hayes, there's Fort
Yeah.
Larned,
Fort Dodge.
Dodge. You know, wow, that was a tough one.
Okay. 5. I'm going to go people 5. That'll give me my third correct one there, if I can get it.
Which Kansas-born comedian created the character Elvira, Mistress of the Dark?
Oh.
Did not know she was from Kansas. Okay.
Martina McBride.
Cassandra Peterson.
Yes. Very good.
For the steal.
For this. Oh, I would have never got that one.
Let's do pop culture.
Which famous Italian fast food chain was first established in Wichita, Kansas in 1958?
Pizza Hut.
Correct.
Good job. All right. 3. I'm going to go sports.
Which former American football team became the Kansas City Chiefs in 1962?
So the name before they became the Chiefs. It was Dallas, and I believe it was the Dallas Texans.
Correct.
Okay.
Which renowned boxer, known as the Garden City Cyclone, hailed from Garden City, Kansas?
I have no clue.
I have no idea.
Victor Ortiz.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Which legendary lawman once served as the Marshal of Dodge City, Kansas?
I know this. Wyatt Earp.
Correct.
Which 1965 NFL Rookie of the Year and Hall of Famer played for the Chicago Bears and was nicknamed the Kansas Comet by his Jayhawk football team?
By his Kansas.
Gail Sayers.
Correct.
Good job.
I've got 3 wrong in that category. Does that count?
2. We'll do science for 2, please.
What freshwater aquifer, also known as the High Plains Aquifer, spans several states including Kansas?
Ogallala Aquifer.
Correct.
Okay, I got 3 right in 2 categories now.
Okay, you're closing in, buddy.
What fictional Kansas town is Clark Kent's hometown in the Superman comics?
Don't know. Steal it.
Not radon. I don't know.
Smallville.
Smallville, yeah.
The name Kansas is derived from the Native American tribe Kansa, or Kaw, which means
prairie dwellers.
People of the South Wind.
Correct.
Wow, great
For the
job.
deal.
what is the Kansas state tree?
Cottonwood.
Correct.
Whew, pop culture. Yuck.
What common Kansas weather phenomenon brought Dorothy to Munchkinland in The Wonderful Wizard of Oz?
Tornado.
In 1905, what rare gas was discovered by 2 KU geology professors in a newly dug well in Dexter, Kansas?
Natural gas.
Helium.
Oh,
Down in the Hugoton field.
yeah.
What pioneer trail originated in Missouri, passed through Kansas, and ended in New Mexico?
Santa Fe Trail.
Yeah, there you go.
I got my Santa Fe in there.
Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 correct.
I have 13.
Yep. So we have a winner.
All
The
right.
Mystery
Okay.
prize.
Do you want me to open it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We can't keep it a mystery.
We have that down. We have some Columbia Nario blend coffee.
And what's the brand?
Minnow beans.
Minnow beans, right there, baby.
All right.
So
Well, fantastic.
you're gonna have to supply your own espresso.
Okay.
You know, if you want to make a shot in the dark at home.
All right. Well, thank
All
you so
right.
much, Callie. That was so much fun.
Congratulations, Mike. Well played.
That was a lot of fun. I
Well
really
played.
enjoyed that.
So that's going to wrap up another edition of Coffee with the Mayor. We give everybody an opportunity to plug their social media, and then again, we thank you so much, Mike, for being here and
Right.
being so gracious to play our Kansas Inquisition.
Yes.
And but tell us how people can get a hold of you.
Best way to probably get a hold of me is through the kslegislator.org website. You can click on all the legislators are listed. My home information is on there, my contact information, my mailing address, both my personal email and my state email. You can also go to kingforkansas.com, and that's a website where I tend to post a little bit more, and my Facebook is on there too. And so hopefully I'll post something about this.
There you go. I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope that people will check us out on our YouTube channel and Spotify, and you can also connect with us through our city Facebook page and the website. So again, that wraps up another episode of Coffee with the Mayor. This episode will drop on the final Friday, and in the meantime, Hillsboro, we're going to ask you to stay updated and caffeinated, and join us again next time. Thanks a lot.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you.